Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Faith and Fandom Feedback Friday as I come to you from the illustrious Faith and Fandom Travel Studios, which is definitely not my hotel bathroom. Um, yeah. Um, my kids are sleeping, and I want to give them a little bit more time to rest before heading out this morning. So thought I would pop in here and share some news with you guys, try and keep my consistency. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and that things have gone well for you. Um, Out the gate, because I still need to make a link for it before I go out today. Uh, 8 Faith and Fandom books are free today through Sunday. I'm going to make a link that puts them all together in just a few minutes. But yep, coming to you from a hotel bathroom in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, because we're about to go hike 10 miles as soon as we get up and get some dressed and breakfast and everything. So I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Thanksgiving for y'all that I missed. And sorry I don't have my desk set up or anything nerdy to put on display, but we're just going to run with the news. Yeah. Good morning, Tristan. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. But yeah, let's go over some news because I don't want to stay in this bathroom as long as I have to. Cheers. Um, One thing is that recently Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Uh, it's gonna be good, dude. It's my favorite spot to go hiking, or at least in North Carolina. It's a, uh, it's a spot that's got two different waterfalls. One of the waterfalls you can actually go under and like do some pretty cool photos and everything, and people actually bottle water for spring water out of this waterfall. And there's a mountain top peak where you can see for 40 miles in every direction. And so, yeah, it's a good day. It's one of those, it's 3 hours to get to. And I didn't want to get up at 5 o'clock and try and drive to do that with everything else or make my kids do that. So we got a hotel nearish the event, did some Christmas events last night. But Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where he was joined by fellow Karate Kid slash Cobra Kai uh, folks when he did it. And it's just one of those things. I'm not a big Cobra Kai fan just because I haven't watched it yet. I know a lot of my family is into it and a lot of other people are, but good for him and for all these folks that got to make a comeback with this. Um, Not to be crazy negative with anything because, it's not my stories, but Conor McGregor did lose his case um for sexual assault. Um and I don't know what all the consequences, and I don't know if there was a complete sentencing or anything there, but he's been found guilty of sexual assault. Um if you have been watching the Lil Wayne or sorry, the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef for any amount of time, you know it's gotten moderately hostile. And this past week, Kendrick Lamar dropped a full album called GNX, and which we'll come back to the mustard thing. But one of the things that has come out of the Kendrick's new album and all the beef is that now Kendrick has taken shots at Lil Wayne, because there was a thing leading up to this where Lil Wayne says he hoped that he could prove himself to be good enough to do the Super Bowl while it's in New Orleans because New Orleans is his hometown. He loves football and hey, good morning, Patrick or Kirkpatrick. Um, I'm thankful for you, dude. But Lil Wayne, had made that statement way prior to Kendrick ever being in the equation that he just hoped that he would be able to do the Super Bowl. Well, fast forward once Kendrick Lamar was announced as the Super Bowl performer, other people were taking shots at Kendrick for basically taking it from Lil Wayne. Even though there was nothing he can intentionally did or anything like that. So Kendrick made a verse about Lil Wayne in one of his songs, and Lil Wayne responds, "Man, WTF I do. I just be chilling and they still come from my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep, I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. One or on me, love." And so Lil Wayne has now said, don't keep my name out of your mouth or I'll start a fight. Now, I don't think anybody out there thinks that Lil Wayne is going to just dominate in a rap beef, but it's entertaining. If nothing else, it is entertaining. If you've been following any of the casting news, Allison Brie, who plays Annie in Community and plays the lead character on Glow, um, and she also does a voice for an animated series. I can't remember at this time, but either way, Allison Brie it's has long been cast as Evil Lynn in the upcoming He-Man and the Masters of the Universe movie. This past week, we got the casting that Idris Elba is going to be playing Man-at-Arms. So now we've got Allison Brie and Idris Elba in this upcoming He-Man movie. You could have just stopped at Allison Brie being cast as Evil Lynn, and I would have watched this thing. But you could throw an or Idris Elba into it, and you've at least sold a ticket, and more than likely you've sold four tickets. So, but that's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to that. The University of Texas's nine undergraduate institutions are now going to be offering free um, tuition for families that make under 100,000 a year. So if you're willing to go to Texas or do online or go through anything of those natures, um, you're going to be able to go to college for free if you make less than 100,000 a year. Now, growing up, that would have been life-changing for me. Because my family definitely made less than 100,000 a year. And I could have used that type of support and education. So I hope it's a real benefit to a lot of people. I don't know exactly why or what to say with this, but Ryan Reynolds is going to be producing a Mighty Mouse movie. I grew up watching Mighty Mouse. I think the Andy Kaufman SNL Mighty Mouse thing is wonderful. And if anybody's going to make Mighty Mouse do something moderately successful, it could be Ryan Reynolds. That could totally function. But we are getting a Mighty Mouse movie produced by Ryan Reynolds. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson this past week. Oops, let me turn that back down. Didn't think to do that. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who are the two main leads behind the Conjuring films, said goodbye to each other this past week after making movies for 12 years. Um, as I think he finished his role, she's got a few more days of filming, but they've officially wrapped up this 12-year partnership of being able to make these movies together. Um, I've not seen the majority of these movies, and I think I didn't see the first Conjuring movie till this year. Um, but um, They're both talented people and I appreciate them. Dictionary.com has announced their 2024 word of the year, and it's very mindful. The word of the year is demure. So, um, because honestly, more people have looked up demure than anything this year, trying to figure out what that word means and why people were saying it. So, demure is the 2024 word of the year from dictionary.com. Uh, Wrestler slash maybe cultural icon. I didn't know who CM Punk was until like a year ago. But CM Punk is going to be starring in a revival of the sci-fi series Farscape. Sci-Fi Network is going to be running the show, and CM Punk is going to be starring as a character called Commander Jackson, a seasoned peacekeeper with an officer complex. So somewhere coming up, there's going to be a storyline where CM Punk is injured because he's got work to do for Sci-Fi Network. Um, but more stuff is coming in the sci-fi world. It's not just Star Trek, so that's good. Um, the Star Wars series Skeleton Crew has moved up its premiere date. Skeleton Crew will now premiere with a two episode, it's a two episode. Yeah, first two episodes are going to premiere on Monday, December 2nd. Um, Tristan says he's not sure about this. Listen, dude, CM Punk starring in a sci-fi role. I don't even know what to do with it. I'm every time I see the trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, I'm just a little bit saddened because I think Seth Rollins' role was cut out. Um, and wrestlers aren't always great actors. Then you get people like Dave Batista, who's a better actor than he ever was a wrestler and can do amazing things. I don't know that that's CM Punk, but he, we'll see. Um, but Star Wars Skeleton Crew, the child-focused Disney series for the Star Wars universe, will premiere Monday, December 2nd, with two episodes of the eight-episode series. Um, for those of you who finished Arcane or you're interested in the Arcane League of Legends series, um, that story is over. But League of Legends says that they have three spin-off series from the world of League of Legends planned. So yeah. Also probably meaning it won't be in the same capacity of Arcane because Arcane is now the most expensive animated series ever made. But it's also, especially the first season, is the most one of the most well-received series ever made. Um, from Kendrick Lamar's album, and I'll let you, if you care to listen to it, listen to it. But there's a point somewhere in the album where Kendrick Lamar very firmly and loudly declares mustard. Like, mustard! And I don't know if that's a reference that Drake needs to catch up, but he just screams mustard, and people have been having a field day with it and responding in the weirdest ways. The first official thing I saw came from DC Comics, where they put up a picture of Condiment King, who originated in Batman the Animated Series, with a caption that said mustard. But it didn't just stop at like DC Comics. Uh, McDonald's put out a promotional image of a sauce dipping thing that said honey mustard with the big lines. So people are jumping in on the Kendrick thing all over the place, just with the mustard thing. If nothing else, it's pretty funny. Um, on the same note, Drake has filed a lawsuit over uh Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us song. Now, a lot of people have been saying, "Oh man, you take a legal route over a rap battle. That is very not like us." And they're using it as a pulling your card type scenario for Drake. But here's the just a breakdown on the legalese of that scenario. Drake and Kendrick's music are both owned by the group UMG. They're owned by the same, company. And uh Drake, it firmly believes, and he thinks he has sources that because his contract is coming up, that UMG pushed Kendrick's music in this over Drake's as a way to lower his value so they could negotiate his contract for a cheaper amount. And that's what he's suing over. He's not suing Kendrick over the song. He's suing the production company of using their beef to decredit him financially. So that's what the lawsuit's over. So I don't think it's just that petty. It is still petty, but it's not take your ball and go home petty. Um, yeah. Things are escalating with Russia, and NATO is warning people to be ready for what's coming. More into that in a minute. If you're familiar when Cat Williams did his infamous interview on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, he called out a lot of people for being deviants like Diddy and called people out for being in the Illuminati. Specifically, a few people he mentioned were Ludacris and Tyrese. Tyrese did an interview and to set the record straight that he loves God both publicly and privately, and he is officially not a part of the Illuminati. And he does an interview to go ahead and kind of dig deeper on his faith. So there you go. If you want to read what Tyrese has to say about how much he loves God and how much he's not in the Illuminati, you can head over to Relevant Magazine, check that out. Um, Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to a ceasefire in Lebanon. And although he did agree to it and it was put into place, Hezbollah violated it within 24 hours. And I know that they are still working towards a ceasefire in that. And for a lot of people, there's just so many conflicts. They don't recognize that there's multiple things going on. Like Israel and Hezbollah is having their own thing. Ukraine and Russia is having their own thing with North Korea on the side. And there's multiple conflicts, and we all need Jesus. Uh, Alan Tudyk has already announced two roles that he has uh, in the DC universe coming up, that he's going to continue to voice Clayface for the DC universe, not in the same manner that he does for Harley Quinn, but he will be voicing Clayface. He's also voicing Dr. Phosphorus. Now it's also been announced that he's officially going to have a physical acting role, not just a voice acting role. That Alan Tudyk will also be joining the DC universe as William Magnus, the creator of the Metal Men. So if you're familiar with the superhero team of the Metal Men, uh, Alan Tudyk is going to be playing Magnus, the creator of them. There was a sighting this week of Pedro Pascal in his Mr. Fantastic uniform. He went outside to autograph some folks' gear. And while he was wearing a hoodie on the top half, you get a nice shot of his Mr. Fantastic pants and boots, which look pretty cool. They don't look like skin tight or anything, which, as a man of Pedro's age, I'm pretty sure he's grateful that it's not skin tight because that would make me uncomfortable. Um, in sadder news, a dude named Storm DeBule, a 22-year-old adventurer slash YouTuber slash TikToker, died. Um, uh, on October 30th. Their details are just kind of more coming out about now. He died around October 30th as he was hiking, and a heavier snowstorm came than anticipated, um, and he froze. Uh, the last thing it's recorded was a message to his grandmother. It says, "It's snowing heavily here, but don't worry, I'll survive." And so he was confident that he was gonna be okay, and he wasn't. And it's just that thing of being cautious because it is dangerous out there, and just because somebody does crazy, because there are people I follow or watch on TikTok that are out there doing crazy wilderness things in the cold. It's just not always safe for everybody. If you're a Pokemon Go fan, the ghost Pokemon Sinistea, which is like a cup of tea because at some point they run out of creative things to do with Pokemon. This haunted cup of tea will be dropping in Pokemon Go starting on December 3rd at 10 a.m. and running through December 7th if you want to try and catch your ghost Pokemon with that. There will also be a chance for a few extra shiny Pokemon. There was some not accurate rumors this week over a huge pay differential between the Wicked actors Ariana Grande and Cynthia. I'm going to say her name wrong. Erivo. There was false reports that there was like a $13 million pay difference between the two actresses. And the studio came out to let everybody know that's not accurate. They were equally paid and don't believe these shenanigans. In NFL news, former New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones is signing with the Minnesota Vikings. So if you're a fan of the uh, Giants, the Vikings, or Daniel Jones, congratulations in some way, shape, or form. Back to the Kendrick Lamar thing. uh, Bethesda Studios, the people that make Elden Ring and what is it? Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim. They've released an official post of the Dragonborn saying mustard. So that's totally a thing. At the Madame Clouseau's Wax Museum in Australia, they debuted a full body, life size Steve Irwin wax figure. And his son Robert Irwin was there for the premiere and to take photos with it. And he said it was very emotionally damaging for him because it's the first time in a long time his father was anything more than a picture. And to stand beside a life size version of his dad was a beautiful thing, but it was a really hard thing for him, obviously, as it would be. Researchers have found the oldest gun in America, dating nearly 500 years. So this is a gun that predates America as America, but it is a brass cannon, or sorry, a bronze cannon that is between 480 and 500 years old. Has an interesting design as well. But yeah, a 500-year-old gun found in here, which says a lot for us too. Um, Universal Studios in Japan premiered its new Donkey Kong Country World. It's not going to be officially open for the public to use until December 11th, but they have opened it up for certain season pass holders to come do some tours of, and you can find videos of it online. But the Donkey Kong Country World has opened up in Universal Japan, which means it'll eventually be part of Universal Orlando. Sarah Michelle Gellar this week was spotted on a photo of the upcoming I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot, and has officially announced that yes, she's in the reboot. So um and she said just to make it and the photo is with her and her husband Freddie Prinze Jr. On set. And so to throw people off, originally she wrote Scooby-Doo 3 coming soon. But then she later confirmed that yes, she's in the I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot. Um, this past week, Venom: The Last Dance officially surpassed uh Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. Is it Lost Kingdom? Yeah, Aquaman, yeah, Lost Kingdom. Showing that even at Sony's worst or close to their worst, they can still surpass the DCEU, which is just shade for days. But hopefully things are going to change with that. But I still congratulate Venom. Good job on making a trilogy with that. Robert De Niro has his first ever TV series. Um, that's going to be it's called Zero Day, and it's going to premiere on Netflix on February 20th. So if you've ever wanted to see Robert De Niro actually do TV, you're going to get that chance. Um, in crazy roller coaster news this week, there's video footage of a man in where was this? In Phoenix, Arizona. There's video footage of a man jumping from the tallest standing roller coaster of the eight standing roller coasters in Phoenix, Arizona, and of him jumping from it to his safety, surprisingly. He was on the climb up as the roller coaster was about to do its big drop. And he said that he felt and heard a click that was not going along with the ride actually going. And he checked, and his seat harness opened. And so rather than potentially falling out of a roller coaster with two upside down turns, he jumped out of the ride and onto the catwalk. He did get yelled at by the employees for doing it, but he was also in a state of panic and adrenaline and pretty much saved his own life. He did get his ticket refunded, but he said he was not able to gain a copy of the incident report. So that's probably a lawsuit definitely going to happen. But he got his refund. So I've been on a roller coaster where things didn't go right. And yeah, congratulations to him because that takes a lot of fortitude to be able just to jump off of a moving roller coaster when necessary. Um, yeah. Another roller coaster news, it was previously announced uh in the past year that the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster ride was going to be taken down and that they were going to make it a Goofy movie ride focused on Powerline. Steven, happy Thanksgiving, dude. Um, but they had announced that the Aerosmith was going to be replaced by Powerline, which I was really excited about. Now reports are saying that the Aerosmith ride is actually going to be replaced with a Muppets ride, which would track since they're going to be taking Muppet Vision 3D down to make room for Monsters Inc. That's a way of them still giving Muppets love. I would personally love a Powerline ride, but it's whatever. Um, Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Wood have been in a battle for a while now over their relationship and allegations against each other. Um, Marilyn Manson has been suing Evan Rachel Wood for 2 years now. He's officially dropped his lawsuit and is now paying her legal fees. There's a featurette about the upcoming Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothy Chalamet, a complete unknown. And in it, you find that Timothy Chalamet sang 40 different Bob Dylan songs live on set to make this movie. And so I'm actually really excited about that. It's probably the movie I'm most excited about right now. Australia, that's Tristan. It's your people. Australia has officially passed a uh, social media ban for anyone under the age of 16 with the aim of protecting mental health and physical health. So I don't know how that's all going to get implemented, but Australia is banning social media for anybody under the age of 16. Um, so yeah, that's totally a thing. Um, TikToker and streamer Kai Sennett, who has had his fair share of um, internet controversies, has potentially gotten himself lined up to be banned from TikTok permanently because of a prank that went wrong. There was a stunt with another TikToker called XQC, um, where it appears that someone gets hanged live on their Twitch stream. Now it was a prank and it went wrong, but it did not go well. People are not happy, and he is very likely looking at a ban. Uh, from King and Country is looking at taking a 2025 hiatus. They're about to drop their uh, Drummer Boy live movie in theaters, and then they're talking about taking a year off, which is a wise life choice. Um, there's a new publisher called Spines, which is intentionally aiming to disrupt the book industry, and they're planning to release 8,000 books in 2025, all written by AI. Their goal is literally to disrupt the pattern, the chaos, and the standing of the book industry. And they are planning to publish, print, and put out 8,000 books, all created 100% by AI. So we'll see how that plays out. Uh, Fans, or maybe not fans, viewers of the Jimmy Kimmel Live show are asking for a formal apology from Jimmy Kimmel after Jimmy Kimmel had the heavy metal band Knocked Loose perform. Um, I understand heavy metal is not everybody's jam, and I haven't seen this performance, but it's pretty rough when you're asked to give a formal apology. A bank treasurer and his wife um, stole $250,000 from their bank and managed to walk out of the bank without it even being noticed in like a paper box. And the vehicle was discovered with the finances, with some of it still left, but they managed to pull it off a pretty smooth bank robbery live on camera. Not that I'm applauding bank robberies, but it was pretty smooth. Um, the newly crowned Miss Universe, Victoria Kajir Thielvig, is in trouble. Um, has been demanded an apology, and people are also Tristan says that the performance was pretty heavy. Okay. Yeah, I totally get that. Um, I know metal doesn't get a lot of love. And I get it because it's not palatable for everybody. But Victoria Kajir Thielvig, this lady's name sounds like a Skyrim merchant. Um, she's in trouble because she went to the Empire State Building and recorded a video of her singing along to Jay-Z's Empire State of Mind and did not filter herself at all while singing the song and used the N-word on a video wearing her crown and sash. So she's in trouble. Kansas City Chiefs Tershawn Wharton saved a young man's life who fell out of the stands trying to get an autograph this past week. Little kid was leaning over, and Tershawn was going to give him a glove, and the kid straight flipped over, and Tershawn managed to catch him and prevent him from like serious injury. Um, Taylor Swift for her final Eras tour show. Shows coming up in Canada, I believe. Yeah, Vancouver, coming up next week or next month. Um, as the Eras tour is wrapping up, she recognized that there were some seats that were terrible and had no view, and so she was releasing them for $16. All of the $16 tickets were immediately purchased and are now being resold for over $1,000 with no view because people are jerks. Um, yep. In Oklahoma, body cam footage has shown a cop heroically saving a man's life as he did a wellness check on a gentleman who was asleep on the big concrete barrier of a very large bridge over a huge body of water. And right when the cop was walking up, the dude tossed in his sleep and rolled off the bridge. And the police officer managed to not catch the dude, but he caught him by the neck of his shirt and managed to grab this dude's shirt and get him back up off the bridge. But it was that kind of close that like saved his life in that capacity. Um, in India, three people have died as they were following their car's GPS, and their GPS took them off an unfinished interstate bridge, and they were propelled forward roughly 30 to 40 feet in the air. Um, the bridge collapsed in 2022, um, but apparently the Google GPS system that these folks had not been updated since 2022. Um, yeah, that's horrible. Um, Diddy has been denied bail for a third time, and they're still keeping trying for that. Um, Also, in other vehicle news, a cyber truck crashed, killing three college students who were home for Thanksgiving. Um, oh, Tristan. I'm not repeating that one for the audio. Um, but a Cybertruck killed three college students who were home for the holidays um, in California as the Cybertruck jumped a curb and collided with a concrete wall before it struck a tree. And again, the doors didn't open. Listen, I report the news like once a week, and almost half the time I do this, there's reports of a cyber vehicle or a self-driven car killing people. Now, I know that there are other people killing people in cars, but this is a real trend, y'all. It's like almost weekly this is happening. Um, but yeah. So that's my news. That's about all I got for it. Uh, I'm not going to do the Bible reading and everything this morning just because I got to wake my kids up, feed them breakfast, and go do some miles of hiking. But I just wanted to make sure I popped on and said thank y'all for being who you are. Thank you for being as supportive as you are. Remember, there are 8 Faith and Fandom books that you can get for free today online through Sunday. If you've not gotten them, you get them free on Kindle. You don't need a Kindle to read them. You can read them on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or you can tell your Alexa to read the books for you and she'll read them out loud. But I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters, uh, Lynn Turner, David Brooks, Jeff Weimer, Colin Sproles, Jamie Montgomery, the Coleman family, Jonathan Herman, Ron Petit, Gear Saber Cosplay, Scott Ward, Alicia Glenn, Jay Sheed, Jason Crutchfield, Mike Perna, Todd Turner, John Jacobs, Zach Harris, Caleb Grimm, Jeanette Skaggs, Jason Bullock, Christina Ray, Sarah Lewis, Patrick Gale, Rebecca Godlove, and Adam Davis. Thank you all for your support, your encouragement, for being as cool as you are through everything. And um, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna post some photos, and the weather's looking clear. There's a spot from the top of the rock where you can see 40 miles in a view. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I hope y'all have had a good Thanksgiving if that's if you celebrate Thanksgiving in your neck of the woods. I hope you have a good weekend. And if you're out traveling, be careful because holiday traffic and all. But we're heading into December. The year's almost over, and I'm grateful for all of you for being a part of it. I hope to hear from you soon, to see you soon. God bless y'all, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, y'all.